All right. Welcome back, folks. This is Comprehensive Course on Private Galleries and Capture Part 2. We're going to go ahead and just dive right into this. There's no reason to wait. We're going to be talking about all things Capture today. So, this is all about the Capture app. We're going to talk about getting started with PhotoDay Capture, downloading it and adding it to your phone, finding and syncing your jobs. We're going to do some filtering and sorting and a few other features that are available to you in the Capture app, as well as reference image best practices. And I may add on a little treat at the end for reusing data if we get around to that. So let's go ahead and just jump into this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, and we'll go ahead and there it is. Okay. So the last time we did this, we've already uploaded our CSV file. All you have to do is come in here and hit add CSV file and add your CSV. Now that would be empty if we were doing it this way. I've already uploaded it, and what it did was it created an individual access code for every player or every subject with all of the information that we provided. So that's just a brief overview of doing adding your data, but we're done talking about that because we are really going to talk all about the Capture app. So at this time, I'm going to grab my Capture demo file, and we'll leave that on the desktop here for us. Let's go ahead and grab this phone, and I'm going to share my screen on my phone so you can see how all this works. All right, it may take a second to load up here, and there it is. We'll mirror this out right about there. We can make it a little bigger for everyone to see what's going on. All right, so I'm already in the Capture app. No, I'm not. There we are. And when you log in, all you're going to see inside your Capture app is all of your private gallery jobs. This is the only thing that it syncs to is the private gallery jobs. So you can see this little green refresh circle over here. This means that this is set to sync with the database and the gallery. And so I'm going to do the same thing for our Capture demo. It's going to ask me, do you want to access the gallery offline? It must be enabled. So we're going to go ahead and enable it so that it talks to the gallery on PhotoDay servers. All right, so you can see these names match up perfectly. If you can't tell, these are all Yankee second basemen. Anybody that knows Jack Reacher will understand the joke. Anyway, I had to come up with something for these players' names, so that's what I went with. Anyway, moving on, we're going to talk about the great features here. So you can, when you're bringing in your players or your students, check them in any way you need to. You don't want to miss a player, so you have to have a good workflow on how that works and make sure that you're capturing everyone, but they don't have to be done in any specific order. They don't have to be alphabetical, and they don't have to be done as they show up. You can just have somebody go down a line and take photos of the kids and just check them all in at once. You can see here at the bottom, we've got a number of subjects being photographed or listed here, and the number that are checked in. So we've got 4 checked in, or 4 that are not checked in. So you can see that here, clicking the checked in line. When you go over here to the subjects, it goes back to how many are left. So as you take their reference photo, they get moved from active subjects over to those that have been checked in. You can also filter. So as they're coming up, and say you're doing a really large league, 90, 80 teams, a whole bunch of kids, you can filter by team. You can do the same thing with the school. You would filter by class or period or homeroom or teacher's name, so that now all you're doing is listing the images or names for that particular group that's coming to you. So you don't have to file through and find duplicate names and figure out who's who. It removes that makes it a lot faster to find them. You can also search by last name or search by anything. So if I want to type in BILL, it's going to bring up Billy Martin. Anything that you want to type in here, you can add. So let's do a filter. I'm going to show you how that works. Just click on filter and now hit add filter. Now, any sorting data that you're provided will end up in this list. So if you were provided information like classroom, homeroom, teacher's name, any of that stuff that's provided is something you can sort by. So I'm going to sort by team. Now, these guys are all on the same team, so bear with me. These are all 9U kids. So I've added a 9U filter, and I just hit filter. And now, if there were a whole bunch of kids in here, you'd see that it's only showing the 9U team. So now I only have to sort through the 9U team. You can also mark players as absent. So You can also go in here and go, okay, well, Joe didn't show up, so I'm going to mark him absent, and that just marks him absent just like that. So I'm not going to do that right now. Or when you're done, you could select all of these and then just mark all as absent. So when you're done with the shoot and you've got X amount left over, to make it faster so you don't have to go down the list, you just mark all as absent. Great little feature. Love that part. So really, I need to match some faces to these names here. So I'm going to pull this down here. I have some images for this, and these red ones here are the ones I'm going to use. I'm just going to bring this up, and just imagine that I've got these kids sitting here in my office, which I don't, obviously, but I'm going to check them in, and I'm going to ask him what his last name is. He's going to say, hey, I'm Joe Gordon. All right, Joe. As you can see, we've got this green line around here. That tells you that the app says I have enough data to tell that that's a face. So if I go over here, there's no face. It recognizes it one way or the other. You can take it as far back as you'd like. I really want to recommend that when you're taking these capture reference images, that you take them as much filling the face in that oval as you can. A couple of reasons will be very apparent to you is if for some reason you don't get a match, you're going to have to visually match. Well, if the kid's head's the size of a pencil eraser in your capture or reference photos, you're not going to be able to do a really good job of visualizing that. So I always tell them, and just to give the system a better reference, make sure that they're really evenly lit. It doesn't have to be like, beauty lighting or anything, but just make sure that they're not in complete shade. I had that issue with one of mine. I had my first job that I did. My daughter didn't realize that she was backlighting them by putting her back to the wall and their back to the lighting, which made all of their faces completely black. I freaked out. I thought, this is never going to work. I called Lisa. This was a few years ago, and I thought my job was ruined. I'm going to have to hand match all these people. No, she said, just dump it in there and we'll let it do its thing and see what happens. Of course, it did perfectly. Even though their faces were really dark and almost in complete shadow, there was enough image data there to match about 98%. I had like four players I had to match, but I had their reference photos and I could just look, kind of see what they look like. And there were jersey numbers, so that was easy. Anyway, going back to this, I'm going to go check some more guys in here. Just give them all a reference image. So do that. And so we'll call this guy Mark Koenig. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now, if you want to retake the photo, if it looks like it didn't do well, you can just click the face here and hit view subject so you can view the image all the way. If you don't like it, you can hit retake from there. Or if you already know you need to retake the reference photo, you don't want to look at it, you can just click retake here. Or if you don't want to check them in, say you checked in somebody you thought it was wrong, maybe it's the wrong person, you can remove the reference photo, which pushes them back into the subject data area and not the checked in area. So then you can go through and redo that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out of that. We're done here. Let's do... All right. So we'll do Billy Martin here. All right. 1, 2, got it. And the last one is down here. All right. And then last guy is, come on, Willie Randolph. Now, this is pretty easy right there. You go. All right. So now I've got everybody a reference photo. One thing I did not show you was that you could easily just type in, instead of filtering here, I'm going to remove or clear all and hit filter. You could have just typed in their last name or started typing in any kind of characters for that name, and it'll start filtering out by name. So that also makes it easy. All right, so you can see right here in the gallery that these reference photos have all shown up right here. They've got a great little thumbnail. They're easy to see. At this point, we need to go ahead and upload some photos. That's really all there is to the Capture app itself. It is a great app that works so well. Is just really well designed and very easy to use. So anyway, I'm going to move on from that. Stop sharing that deal. Okay. And next is we're going to upload some photos. So I've got my reference photos. You've already photographed your job. You're coming back, cull through the ones you don't want, get rid of those, and then export them to a folder that you are ready to use. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab this whole folder, and I could literally just drag it right into the window. Right there, drop composites, there it is. And now it's just going to upload that whole folder. All right, so one more thing I'm going to highlight is that our new little new feature down here in our uploader is going to show you not only how long it might take to upload these, which 56 images in less than a minute. I'm at 9,000 kilobits per second. That's a pretty good clip. So these will go fast. Now, that's just a little tech feature that they threw in. So, all right, as you can see, these are starting to automatically fill because I have the reference photos in here. So now it's saying that this kid belongs here. We've got Billy Martin up here. He's got his images, and Mark Caning here. And it's just going through and grabbing them all. So it shows you kind of the unmatched ones. And as soon as it matches them, it moves them over. So it's still uploading. So you may see one or two images show up in this unmatched area. But it's going to do a really good job of matching these faces up. All right, should be about done. There we go, last one. Okay. So now we've got everybody matched up, and we're ready to go. Your gallery's ready. So at that point, upload your team photos. Make sure you've got those matched. It will match all the faces in the team photo to everybody, every single gallery. So it'll find the image, and it'll put that team photo in every gallery. If it doesn't, you can actually go in and go to the unmatched portal. And then if there were a team photo here, you'd click on it, you'd go to the matching area and you just hit select all and then apply. You just apply that image to every single gallery. And that's another way you can also apply something like a JPEG or a PDF file that you want parents to read. So you can create an 8x10 image that is a README, and you name it _README. You could create a little graphic and apply that using that match modal and say, I want to apply this to everyone. That's just another way to use the matching modal to apply an image that isn't necessarily a face. You could also do some ignore face options in there. So seems to be all the rage. The 90 shirts are back. Billy Idol's face in there. You've got, all kinds of graphics that have faces in them on t-shirts. It will actually match those as well. So you can go in and ignore a face, and that's a simple process. You just find the face that you want to ignore, and then in the match modal, and then you just click unmatch, or ignore, excuse me. All right, so really that's about that for Capture. The Capture app is absolutely as simple as that to use. So I hope you all have a great time using it. I'm going to throw one last piece of information here. So we've got all this data in here now. We've got photos. We've got a list of them. What if I want to use this for the team next year? So I've been covering this baseball team for about 6 years. Every year, I have to start over and take a new set of reference photos. Well, you don't really have to. If I wanted to just grab that kid's face from here, you could export a set from here, and then it would match those photos. You would upload the photos as well as the data to a new gallery, and then you wouldn't have to take as many reference photos the next time. You already have that information. So I'll show you how to do that. Let's go ahead and do an export. We're already in here, but if you weren't and we were in photos here, to get there, you just go to services and do exports and click new. All right, so we've got the export name. I'm just going to take this reuse for next year. That's pretty original. Next year. All right. So here we go. I'm going to select the subjects. We're going to select everybody. So when you do this, you don't want to necessarily exclude anyone. You're going to want that name in there just in case. So that way you can take their picture next year, or know that you need to take their image next year. So select subjects all, everyone, group by, whatever organization you want to use to sort them by, group by last name. For you guys, for the school shooters, I'd go use by sort by teacher or classroom or grade. I'm going to do it by team. These guys are all on the same team anyway. That's irrelevant. And export. Now, the export you want to use to reuse images for next year as capture images, you're going to want to use the service item export. Now, it will export a CSV file like usual, but it will also include a cropped selected image for use as the reference photo for next year, because you already know that this is this year's reference photo, or this year's photo. Okay, so we're going to hit service items. You have to select a primary image to be cropped and used as the reference photo. So let's go ahead and do that. You can use our star rating system, which is why that yellow star exists there. We have a singular on-off binary selection tool called the feature star. So you can select an image that you want to use as the yearbook image, and that would be what would be selected here. So if you've used our star rating, you'll be able to just say, pick the featured ones and move on. I didn't select one. So I'm just going to go ahead and choose first captured. So then you can customize the file names as well on your export. So we gave you the ability to create some custom files for this. I'm going to go ahead and use last name, and then we're going to use a hyphen to or an underscore to separate them. Last name, first name, and now back to I want original file name in there. So now last name, first name, and original file, that's how it's going to show up. Gordon, Joe, and then the image file name. So usually it's img underscore something something JPEG. All right. And we're going to do this, submit. Now you have to set the crop. This is really more for yearbook type export or ID card type export, where there are different formats for those. Each ID card may use a different crop factor. So we've got 1:1, 2:3, which is the 4:6 style, and then 4:5, which is also 8:10, 16:20. But anyway, that's the ratio, and that's how it would crop. For this, I want a little more space just in case I didn't get them centered properly, and then we'll just do that. All right. Or maybe we'll just pull it all the way out. All right. So we'll hit confirm here, and now let's go ahead and hit start export. Now this was a two-step process. You're going to export, set the export, and then it is going to go ahead and crop those images. So it's going to go look for the first image in each gallery, select it, and crop it. Now you got to go ahead and check this data. Now it's going to tell me there's an error here. Now let's go find out what this error is. And right now it says could not crop the profile. There's not enough margin automatically adjusting the profile. So really it's telling me there's just not enough information here for the ID crop for profile. I don't really care about that because we're using these for images for next year. So I'm going to go ahead and click ignore all. But one last part, I'll show you, you can actually change the photo by yourself. It'll take you back into that kid's record and you can select a better image, or you could crop it manually. And right here, you would be able to move this around and crop it however you'd like. So I'm just going to hit update. It really just wants you to go through and check to make sure that these look good. Whoops, there we go. All right, so it took away the warning up here because now I've addressed it and it knows that I'm aware of it. I'm just going to tell it to ignore all because they look fine to me. So you have to type in the word. We are all about making sure you don't do something stupid here at PhotoDay. We make it so that you have to do a double verification. So you click a button, but then you have to type it in and then click another button. So we really want to make sure you don't do something you don't really intend to do so that it creates more problems. Ignore all. I really like that. That was like one of those things. I'm like, cool, I can't screw this up. All right, so I'm going to hit confirm, and we'll just create the export file. Now, because there's only 4 subjects, this won't take very long. But in some cases, when you're doing the whole school, this could take 30 minutes or a couple of hours, depending on how many there are to crop. This runs through a crop server, and we will just end up sending you a file right here to download. And this zip file contains the photos that are cropped and the it showed up. There it is. And the CSV file. So it's right here. Capture service demo items right here. All right, so here's the index file. I'm going to hit this so that you can see it. It's got the image name. Now see, it renamed the image file with the last name, the first name, and the image number. So that's what it's going to be looking for when it uses that as a reference photo next time. So let's go in here and show you it's got an access code and everything. Now that won't matter because it will regenerate new access codes. So anyway, I could show you this very quickly by starting another new job really quick. And add new job, we'll just name it Demo Capture 2. Let's just call it Youth Sports Organization. We all know what this is. You can see how quick this is when you really know how it all works. I'm skipping all of the details here. We're just setting up a new quick job right here in front of you. And we're going to make this a private gallery. Hit save. Set up a storefront, pick a price sheet, demo. Let's pick baseball. Any options down here? Nothing. So moving on, I'm not going to mess with advanced pay. We'll hit save, and we can start adding subjects to the gallery. So now I'm going to go ahead and upload the CSV file from that demo. All right, so we got to go back to desktop and demo. Let's see. No, that is not it. That's in downloads. Okay, so I didn't move it. It's still here, but I'm going to pick this CSV file. All right, now you still got to map your stuff. So this is the image file name that it's looking for to use as a reference image. There's your access code should you choose to sync that to it. Go ahead and use first name, last name. It's already got those. This is new. Recently, we released this in an update that will now highlight areas that you may not have mapped. So to show you that there's things that are missing here. Session started and added with, I don't need those to map. I don't need the access codes to map because we're going to generate new ones anyway. I wanted to regenerate a new code. Anyway, here we go. Emails are done. Team is done. Map. All right. Yes. Would you like to continue mapping data without these columns? Yes. I do not want to add those columns. All right. Continue. All right. So there's my guys. They have no reference photos. They have brand new access codes that have been automatically generated. So you didn't need the access codes from last year, but it gave them to you anyway. So now what's going to happen is I'm going to upload those those photos from there. So here we are. I'm going to grab them all and hit open. All right. Now the system is looking for those as the reference photo, and it's going to dump them over here. There it is. All photos. And now it's lining them up. See, there they all are. Same pictures as last time. Now we've got no unmatched, and then they all have their thumbnail. So that is how you would reuse data for next year. It was a little tidbit. I know a lot of people have been interested in hearing about how that works, so I thought I'd throw that in as an extra. So let me go back over here, and we'll get the capture slide presentation going again. And all right, so as always, we talk about pricing here at the end, but you only pay when you sell. That's the beautiful thing about PhotoDay is it doesn't have any contracts. We're not signing you up for a lifetime here. There's no quotas. There's no maximums or minimums to meet. You've got a 10% transaction fee on the subtotal of each order. That's it. And that's the only time you pay. Of course, you have, the credit card processing fees and, you pay your lab bill out of this, but there's no lab bill extra for you to pay. We take care of all of that for you. Of course, inside this, you get, text message marketing, email marketing, capture app, which we just went over, our dashboard app, which is a way for you to keep track of all your sales and what's going on. It's got a little addictive cash register sound that just goes cha-ching. And you can sit and listen to that all day long. Matter of fact, I just got paid 4 times during this demo. So you're getting paid while you're doing other things. So digital downloads, unlimited storage. There are services that charge you a monthly fee for a certain amount of storage. And if you exceed that, you need to bump up to the next level. So we don't offer that here. We just let unlimited storage. We want your images to be sellable for a long time. We have total marketing resources and, of course, the PhotoDay Academy. And coming up is in December, the PhotoDay experience down in Treasure Island, Florida. Join us for 2 days of education and more of this. So you'll get hands-on, one-on-one. There will be other speakers, other of our trailblazers doing talks on all kinds of things. So all related to PhotoDay, but you'll get all kinds of business information out of it. And it's a great way to network. And of course, there will be food. And it's PhotoDay, so it's going to be good food. Most likely, maybe even tacos. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. It's the 12th. I think it's the 11th and 12th or 12th and 13th. I've completely forgotten at this point of December. It is directly following the Boat Ride Bootcamp. I'm not sure if that's sold out yet, but if you're interested in some serious education, go through the Boat Ride Bootcamp and then stay 2 more days and hang out with us at the PhotoDay experience. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. Thanks for tuning in. We will talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.